Have you ever wondered what role a social protection team leader plays in the Ethiopian government? Well, today we're going to delve into that subject and more. We'll be discussing the Ethiopian social protection policy and the integral part a social protection team leader plays in its implementation. This policy serves as a pillar of the Ethiopian government's strategy to combat poverty and vulnerability. It's the responsibility of the social protection team leader to ensure this policy's effective execution, transforming it from a mere document into a living, breathing initiative that impacts millions. And to make things interesting, we're adding a twist. We'll be presenting this information in a fun and engaging quiz format. We have 15 multiple-choice questions and 5 open-ended questions lined up for you. So, are you ready to test your knowledge? Stick around if you're ready to dive deeper into this fascinating topic. Now that we've set the stage, let's test your understanding with some multiple-choice questions. Question 1. What is the primary role of a social protection team leader in the Ethiopian government? Is it A, to implement social welfare programs, B, to oversee social protection policy, C, to provide social services, or D, to manage social development projects? Take a moment to think about it. The correct answer is B, to oversee social protection policy. A team leader's role is crucial in ensuring the successful implementation of these policies. Moving on to question 2. Which of the following best describes the Ethiopian social protection policy? A, a framework to promote social development, B, a strategy to alleviate poverty, C, a plan to enhance national security, or D, a system to improve public health? The correct answer is B, a strategy to alleviate poverty. This policy aims to help the most vulnerable segments of the population and reduce poverty rates. For our third question, what is a key difference between the social welfare development policy and the social protection policy in Ethiopia? Is it A, the target population, B, the implementing agency, C, the source of funding, or D, the intended outcomes? The correct answer is D, the intended outcomes. While social welfare focuses on providing services, social protection aims to alleviate poverty and promote social equity. Question 4. Why did Ethiopia substitute the former social development policy with the current social protection policy? A, to address new social challenges, B, to comply with international standards, C, to better allocate resources, or D, to improve service delivery? The correct answer is A, to address new social challenges. The shift reflects the government's commitment to tackling emerging social issues. Finally, question 5. What is the main similarity between the social welfare development policy and the social protection policy? Is it A, the focus on the poor, B, the emphasis on children, C, the consideration of the elderly, or D, all of the above? The correct answer is D, all of the above. Both policies are designed with a focus on the most vulnerable groups in society. Great job on those questions. Let's move on to the next set. Ready for more? Here comes the next batch of questions. First question, what are the key principles of the current Ethiopian social protection policy? A, inclusion and sustainability, B, equality and accountability, C, participation and human rights, or D, all of the above? The correct answer is D. The policy is grounded in principles of inclusion, sustainability, equality, accountability, participation, and human rights. Next, what is the main objective of the social protection policy? A, to reduce poverty, B, to ensure the well-being of all Ethiopians, C, to promote economic growth, or D, to foster social cohesion? The correct answer is B. The policy aims to ensure the well-being of all Ethiopians, particularly the most vulnerable, through comprehensive and coordinated social protection interventions. Moving on, what is the role of a social protection team leader in implementing this policy? A, to coordinate activities, B, to monitor and evaluate the policy's impact, C, to oversee policy implementation, or D, all of the above? The correct answer is D. The team leader coordinates activities, monitors and evaluates the policy's impact, and oversees its implementation. Fourth question, why did Ethiopia substitute the former social development policy with the current social protection policy? A, to promote social justice, B, to address the changing socioeconomic landscape, C, to strengthen social protection mechanisms, or D, all of the above? The correct answer is D. The substitution was made to promote social justice, address the changing socioeconomic landscape, and strengthen social protection mechanisms. Lastly, what's the difference between the social welfare development policy and the social protection policy? A, the focus on the most vulnerable, B, the emphasis on human rights, C, the approach to poverty reduction, or D, all of the above? The correct answer is D. The social protection policy differs from the social welfare development policy in its focus on the most vulnerable, its emphasis on human rights, and its approach to poverty reduction. Well done. Let's challenge ourselves a bit more with the final set of multiple-choice questions. Here we go with the final set of multiple-choice questions. Let's dive right in. Question 11. What is the primary focus of Ethiopia's current social protection policy? A. Economic growth. B. Reducing poverty. C. Education reform. Or D. Infrastructure development. The correct answer is B. Reducing poverty. The policy is geared towards mitigating the impacts of poverty and vulnerability among the Ethiopian population. Moving on to question 12. Which of the following is not a component of the social protection policy? A. Livelihood support. B. Insurance schemes. C. Public works programs. Or D. Industrial development. The answer is D. Industrial development. While industrial development is crucial, it is not directly addressed under the social protection policy. For question 13, why did Ethiopia substitute the former social development policy with the current social protection policy? A. To focus on economic growth. B. To address the needs of the vulnerable. C. To reduce government spending. Or D. To increase foreign investment. The correct answer is B. To address the needs of the vulnerable. The shift was made to better cater to those most at risk in society. Question 14. What is a notable similarity between the social welfare development policy and the social protection policy? A. Both aim to reduce poverty. B. Both focus on industrial development. C. Both promote foreign investment. Or D. Both aim to improve education. The correct answer is A. Both aim to reduce poverty. Despite their differences, both policies share this common goal. Finally, question 15. Which competency is crucial for a social protection team leader working for the government? A. Knowledge of foreign languages. B. Expertise in economic forecasting. C. Understanding of social protection policies. Or D. Skill in software development. The answer, of course, is C. Understanding of social protection policies. This knowledge is fundamental to effectively lead and implement social protection programs. Excellent work on those questions. Now let's switch gears a bit and explore some open-ended questions. Now let's delve deeper with some open-ended questions. Our first question invites you to consider the core competencies of a social protection team leader. What, in your view, are the key skills and abilities required for this role? Take a moment to think about it. The answer: a social protection team leader should ideally have excellent communication skills, a deep understanding of social protection policies, and the ability to strategize and implement these policies effectively. Moving on to question 2. Can you differentiate between the social welfare development policy and the social protection policy? The social welfare development policy is primarily focused on providing immediate assistance to those in need, while the social protection policy is more comprehensive, addressing not only immediate needs, but also long-term strategies for social security and equity. Our third question asks, why did Ethiopia substitute the former social development policy with the current social protection policy? This is a rather complex question, but in essence, the shift was made to address the chronic vulnerabilities and poverty that the previous policy couldn't fully tackle. The social protection policy aims to create a more resilient society by focusing on sustainable and long-term solutions. Question 4 invites you to think about the challenges faced in the implementation of the social protection policy in Ethiopia. This could range from logistical issues, funding constraints, to lack of public awareness about the policy. Each of these challenges requires different strategies and solutions. And finally, question 5. How can the implementation of the social protection policy be improved? There's no one-size-fits-all answer here, as it depends on the specific challenges encountered. However, some common suggestions might include increasing funding, improving infrastructure, enhancing coordination among various stakeholders, and raising public awareness about the policy. Fantastic job on those open-ended questions. Now let's wrap things up. So, what have we learned today about the role of a social protection team leader in the Ethiopian government? Well, we've delved into the intricacies of the Ethiopian social protection policy, understanding its objectives and implementation mechanisms. We've also explored the key responsibilities of a social protection team leader, highlighting their vital role in policy enforcement and social welfare development. We've compared this policy with the previous social development policy, noting the differences and similarities. We've seen how the shift to the current social protection policy was a strategic move by Ethiopia to address more effectively the pressing social issues and enhance the welfare of its citizens. Through our 15 multiple-choice questions and 5 open-ended questions, we've challenged our understanding and gained a deeper insight into this complex yet fascinating topic. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, the more you know, the more you can make a difference. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.